are worthy. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Scribe Stories, a pre-event conversation with rising authors across Africa and in the diaspora. Let me know if you can see me, if you can hear me. How are you doing? Where are you joining us from? Today, we are having such a beautiful conversation with an amazing author, the author of the book, The Purpose Blueprint. I'm sure that she is going to be joining us soon by the grace of God. But for now, I just want to say welcome, welcome, welcome. If we have not met before, my name is Gunne Ann Ukonkwo. I am an author coach and a book positioning strategist. And we are having this amazing event coming up, Scribe Secrets 2.0. And that's one of the major reasons why we are having this conversation. We want to be able to speak to authors and just really glean from them as first-time authors, as aspiring authors, as new authors, or even established authors. We're going to be just having these conversations with these people so that we can glean one or two things from their writing journey. I am here because I have a strong purpose and vision and mission towards authors of African descent. And I really want us to be able to just learn what we can learn in this journey of authorship so that we can be able to partner with God to birth that book that is inside of you. I have a strong conviction that a book can change your life. One book, a book can change your life. And I know that when you hear that, you'll be thinking about books in terms of like reading the books. Of course, when you read books, they are capable of giving you so much transformation, so much light, so much wisdom, giving you direction. I know how much books have affected me, has helped my journey as a young woman, as a mother, as a visionary. Books have been pivotal in my journey. But then beyond reading the books, a book can change your life in terms of the fact that you author a book. And I cannot even begin to tell you the degree of transformation that happens when you are able to just sit and say yes to the book that is inside of you and say yes to the rigor, because I will not lie to you. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. It's sometimes a very rigorous assignment. But then the one that calls us, especially for those of us who are believers, who are faith driven, who discern that this is something that God wants us to do. It's not just an ambition. It's not just something that we feel like we want to do just because everyone is writing books. No, for us, it is because we feel a leading along these lines, and that's why we are here. That's why we want to have these conversations. And I think that Coach Pelumi is here, and I'm just super excited. If you're not already, before we even get into the conversation, if you're not already registered, I want you to go ahead and definitely rush and register for Scribe Secrets 2.0. This is the pre-event conversations. Think about this as the fire before the fire. We have had two conversations now for Scribe Stories, and it has been super amazing. I've been so blessed by these conversations. We had Nana Hawa, and then we also had Eniola yesterday, Eniola Oyegule, who is the author of The Champion Speaks. And I encourage you to check out these conversations in this YouTube channel. You will see them either in the live section or the main videos in this YouTube channel, you will see these conversations that we've already had. I encourage you to explore them. They are very beautiful conversations that we had that really shone light to us as authors, as people that that are aspiring to write books. So, and today this is our third conversation of Scribe Stories. And I want to encourage you to sit back, to relax, to get your journal, to be intentional, be present as you listen to this. I have some amazing authors that have been able to, and these are not authors, people that wrote their books 10 years ago. No, they are people that just actually released their own books. And so they have very fresh insights about the journey, very fresh insights that we can learn from, that we can just see how we can also add the wisdom, the light, even in our own journeys as authors, right? And like I said, we are here because Scribe Secrets 2.0 is coming in October 10th and 11th. See the link in the screen. Make sure to register. One of the theme of this event is from message to movement. We are sitting into and trying to understand how we can be able to take a message that we have received from God, a message that we are discerning that we should put into books. How are we going to be able to take it and put it into a how are we going to take it and put it into make it into a movement? How are we going to be able to rally people around that message? How do we take that thing, this little thing? Maybe, for example, it's a message about hope. It's a message about okay, I'm going to add Coach Pelumi. She's here. I hope that your video is on and you're okay. Awesome. I'm going to add her in a few minutes as I round off this introduction. How do you take that message that God has given you and make it into a movement? That's the conversation that we're going to be having with some of the most amazing authors that have built movements from their book. So if you are not, as of today, as I'm speaking to you, almost 500 people have registered, are already in. So please don't sit on this. Don't sleep on this. Make sure to register as I welcome Coach Pelumi. I'm excited.
Hello.
Welcome. Thank you for being here. Have I added you? Okay. Yes,
I'm here
yes.
now. Please just
Awesome.
confirm first of all if my camera is well set.
I
Am
think
I?
it is.
It
I can
is.
see
All
you. Yes.
right. Good evening,
Good
coach.
evening.
Oh my goodness.
I know. But we thank God that we are here. This is the life of a visionary. So many
Ah,
things happening, and I just really thank you. I really thank
thank
you
you
for.
as well. Thank you.
for
I'm excited to be here. I mean, I've looked forward to this. And
yes,
so when I saw the mix up, I'm like, oh my God, what is going on? And oh, but I'm glad that at least we're able to work out something. Apologies
yes.
for the time, the
It's
mix
okay.
up of dates and all of that. I'm sure
Yes.
that everything is going to work out, and the people that are supposed to be here are here. Those that are supposed to listen to this are going to listen to it. So thank you for
Amen.
having me, Coach
Thank
Ego.
you so much. Thank you so much. So, for those that haven't met you before and those that don't know you, please can you kindly introduce yourself and let us know who is Coach Pelumi Adeuyi, if I'm
Uh,
not mistaken.
I'm excited to be here. First of all, my name is Pelumi Adeuyi. I'm a pastor, I'm a coach, and I'm a legacy builder through the lens of purpose. That is just me in three words,
Right,
if I'm going to put it in three words. And
right.
I help leaders to build from the lens of purpose. I help leaders who are pulled in different directions
Yeah.
because they are already multi-influential. They're already they're multi-potentialites. They are doing so many things, but we have leaders that have gotten to this stage of their lives. However, they still feel a sense of emptiness and unfulfillment and all of that. So I help leaders like that to help them find their core, which is purpose, and to help them to see their work through the lens of purpose so that they are able to build a truly lasting legacy. Not because not they're not just doing work because it is CSR, they're not just doing work because they have money, but they are doing it
Mm.
because they are aligned with their life's purpose, with what God has really created them to do with their lives. So yeah,
Um,
that is what.
Amazing. I love it. I love, love, love that. I know that for me, for example, for the longest time, I was obsessed with the idea of purpose because I know that it's important. I know that
Yeah,
it's important, but
yeah,
I couldn't, for the love of me, figure it out, especially
I
as a younger
know.
adult. It's so confusing,
Uh,
so many things to talk about, so many ways to think about it. But I
mm-hmm,
love the angle that you're coming from in terms of like for those that are already moving,
mm-hmm,
which is a lot of us. Are you sure that you're really doing this from the place of purpose, and how can you be
mm-hmm.
able to do it? I think it's
Absolutely.
such an important conversation to have. So I want
Yeah,
to
it
ask, like,
is.
what was the defining moment for you that made you decide that you were going to write or even start on this journey? Like, what even got you here? Like, how did you even start on this journey of okay, I'm going to help people get onto purpose and then write a full book
Oh,
about it?
Connie. This question may seem like a one sentence question, but it's like you're trying to open up a can of a whole story that can write a book on its own.
I
But I
know.
will try as much as possible to, fit it into time.
Yes.
So the journey of this book started from a coaching boot camp that I had.
Okay.
So it was the purpose boot camp. It was my first purpose boot camp. It was even before VCAP and everything. I remember it was 2020. What was that? 2023.
Yes.
2023. We so it was weeks leading on to my birthday, and I was already the Explore Network as a coaching, as a coaching outfit had just started, and I knew that this was what was it. But I was asking for clarity. I wanted to know more. I wanted to do more. I wanted to put a structure, put a framework on it, and I didn't know what and when exactly it was going to be. However, a few days before my birthday, it was like as if when you're having you are sleeping and somebody just taps you from the night and say you're doing the purpose boot camp. I'm like, why are you talking to? In fact, to let me paint a bigger picture, let me paint it in the way you see it, a picture for you. That period, my
Mm.
husband was not around. We're in the UK. I don't,
Mm.
so I didn't have any help. I was with two children.
Ah.
I was working. I was leading a ministry at the same time. So there was, so in my head, I'm just like, well, let me just move through this season. And that was the first time I was going to travel for a long time. It was away for over 7 weeks or thereabout. So it was a long time, and children went on summer also during that period. So it was a long ride. However, so I said, okay, fine. Purpose, it's not, I don't have any problem. I will do it. But how is it going to go? What will I be saying? What will I teach? And then it was like I know I had taught, I had some pre work, I had coached at
Mm.
a really, at I was doing, you do test run now. So I had some point I was
Yes.
mentoring then. So it was
Yes.
there I used to do test run of my course. And and had really good feedback and all of that. But this one, I was like, hey, how will I make announcement, get on Instagram and say, oh, yeah, everybody come? What will I say? This is what I'm going to deliver. But I remember it was around that same July. It was as if
Mm.
God sat me down. My
Mm.
children were already asleep. It was in the night like this. And and it just said, it just started to say, okay, this, you're going to have five, it was going to be a 5-part thing. You're going to do this topic, this topic, this topic, this topic, this topic. And I found out that by the time I was done, it was as if God was explaining the phases of purpose for me.
Hmm.
Yes, that was exactly how it was. That the first phase, this is what it's going to be like. The second phase is going to be like, and I didn't know where the strength or the power came from. I called my husband. I said, "There's something I want to do that I've never done before, and I know that
Hmm.
I will make sure you are back before I start it. But it's going to run." I was like, "It's something that may take as long as 12 weeks or something like that."
Hmm.
But I've never done it before. I don't know how this will look like, but I've tried to go. I even made an announcement on one of my I said, "There's a project I'm working on. Please, if you are free and there's some you feel you can help me at this time, please reach out to me." So that was how I gathered the team. So after I was convinced of what I wanted to do, I started to gather a team. I spoke to them. I said, "This is what it is. I just need people to kind of help me undo administration and all of this, so that
Right.
it won't be so overwhelming." Every morning I was writing on the topic, I was developing slides, I was making research every morning. I taught 15 topics in 8 weeks.
What?
Yes.
Wow. See, let me unpack for those that don't really understand. Because you will not get it if you haven't been on the back end of trying to teach. Oh my goodness. It's
My
a lot of work.
goodness. Can you
It's
repeat
a
the oh my
lot of work.
goodness? It is. It is. And I
Wow.
was going to work. I was attending to my children, doing all of that. And guess what? We're meeting every morning during the weekdays to pray for 30 minutes. So I was
Hmm.
leading prayers every day of the weekdays where we were on. So we first did about 6 weeks or thereabouts. We went on like a 2 week break, and then we came
Hmm.
back again, and then we had like an activation video, and then we had a graduation ceremony.
Wow.
Yes. And so to let you know how intensive it was, I think we had over 100 people who registered. By the time
Hmm.
we got everyone into the group, those that read email and followed followed link, read email to the back, I think we had about 80 or 90
Hmm.
people on the call. But I had
Hmm.
this person that was like an admin that was really strict, and I knew I couldn't do what she did, because she just
Hmm.
went and did a complete audit. So she said they reached out and all of that. And by the time they finished doing audit of removing those that were not serious, and that we had up to 60 people still left that were
Wow.
showing up. And even me, I'm like, really? And the feedback was overwhelming. So that was where the journey of Purpose Blueprint started. In fact, I thought I was going to just have a journal for
Okay.
it.
Hmm.
So in this book, so it started first as I'm going to have a journal. So I announced I was going to have a journal. In fact,
Hmm.
I had somebody design the cover of the journal, and I used it as my screensaver for the longest of
Hmm.
time. So when I
Hmm.
started to put the journal together, and then I knew that this was not going to stop as a journal. So in
Hmm.
this book, there is a whole chapter dedicated to a 30-day journal.
Oh wow. I can
So I
relate
think
so
chapter
well.
three. So chapter three of it is a 30-day or 31. So you can be reading through this book and be reading one of each day of the journals. So the
Hmm.
journal, each of because it's chapter three, it has a purpose tip for each day. It has an affirmation for each day. It has a Bible verse
Hmm.
for each day, and it has reflection prompt for each day. So
Hmm.
I'd even said 30 days purpose journal, but then I did 31 days. It was actually
Wow.
everything I said was 31 days. And then we started to pieces. Now, the main part, which was what I got as the wheel of purpose, was supposed to be the
Hmm.
main thing. But when I started putting it together, the Holy Spirit had to minister to me that it was not complete, that there was still
Hmm.
more, that there was
Okay.
still more. However, by the time it was the following year, I was already in oh sorry, my lights just went off. I know you can still see me, it's just
I
that
can
it's not
see
giving
you.
what it's supposed to give.
I know.
But just
It's
give me a
okay.
couple of minutes to sort that out, please.
Okay, sure. As you are doing that, um, let me help everyone understand what is going on. My goodness, I am loving what I'm hearing. If you understood, the first thing that I heard her say is how she was tapped. I teach this thing about the the art of scribing. If you have gone through Scribe Secrets as an email course, I taught it about the way that scribing happens. It sometimes it is there are three major ways: by revelation, by dictation, and by inspiration. And literally dictation is almost like an angel is waking you up. Like you feel such a strong sense of get up and sit down and write. And that is what this woman of God is explaining to us that happened, that was able to make her download a framework around the wheel of purpose, which is what she put in the book. Are you seeing? I hope you're hearing what we are saying. Because sometimes I am big on the fact that I am very big about on the fact about scribes and how sometimes when I talk about scribes, and many people may not relate, but there are many of us that are actually already working in that anointing and authority. When you're just able to download things that you didn't you didn't know before, like you did not you know it was given to
It was
you.
not
It
premeditated. It
was not
wasn't a training.
premeditated.
Yeah, it was not a
That is
training.
scribing. My God.
Now
My
we don't
God.
know what. Let me quickly keep this in, which is more like the defining moments that which may answer the question of defining moment. By 2024, we all got into VCAP, right? We got into
Yes.
VCAP together and all that.
Yes.
And January that year, just before VCAP, we did visioning summits, not retreats, summits, where Dr.
Yes.
Sami Kodayo, the purpose preacher,
Coach. Yes. The
came.
purpose preacher.
And one of my prayers at the beginning of 2024 was that God, I wanted to actually meet a coach. I know what our coach does, but I wanted to meet a coach that is specialized in this purpose, because purpose coaches that teach about purpose, we are very few. You don't it's not
Mm.
you don't
It's
it's
not
not
common.
common.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
not
Yes.
common because you can't just wake up and start talking about purpose. Number
Yes.
one, purpose will look like, everybody look at you like, what is purpose? It's not purpose. So if you're not really it's not like wealth coach. Everybody wants to be wealthy now. They quickly sign
Mm.
up. Even if they will
Yes.
not be at least they will sign up to come and, yeah, let me be wealthy. But it's a
Yes.
purpose. I beg, let's even eat first.
Let's eat. Exactly. Exactly. Let's eat food first.
Let's eat food first, so it's purpose. But so I wanted to get somebody that was in this line. So when he came
Mm.
for that purpose summit, my sister, I entered his DM on Instagram.
Wow.
I did. It was like taking, that leap, that long leap. I took
Yes.
the leap, and then after I said that you just finished speaking on this, and I would like to connect with you and everything. Hey, by evening, this man has responded to me, has followed me back.
Wow.
That he doesn't want to celebrate, and it
I
really he
know.
said he has gone through my page, he has seen my messages, he has seen what I put out, and he sees that we are of the same tribe. I'm like,
Mm. Ah,
ah!
validation. I know.
Do
I
you know?
know.
I
I know.
screenshotted that. I don't think I'm supposed to even frame it. Sef. Do you understand that kind of?
Oh
But then that
my.
was our relation. Now, when we got into VCAP, and then we're told that we could reach out to one. I know it was one of our guest
Yes.
mentors as well.
Mentors. Yes.
So
Yes.
while VCAP was on, so my accountability coach has said, why don't you create an assessment for
Hmm.
the will of purpose? I said, see, I don't like what Holy Spirit is doing, because maybe I told him before I say no. Because I look at the type of assessment that DK used to do, people used to do, I say, how will I sit down now and be
And start.
composing questions for
Hmm.
I was like, oh, she now said, why don't you create an assessment? I'm like, assessment for will of purpose. It's actually a lot, because
Yes.
5 faces and all that. Anyways, we took on that was one of my major projects during VCAP.
Hmm.
So when I finished constructing the whole messages and all that, I sent everything to Dr. Sam. I know he's a doctor, he's a
Yes,
PhD holder.
he's a PhD
I
doctor.
know he
It's
does
not
that. So
uh,
if he tell you did rubbish, you did rubbish, full stop.
yes.
You understand? You did rubbish, full stop. So I sent it to him, maybe like beginning of August or thereabouts. I did not hear from him. Oh, hey, maybe like 2 weeks later, and I say, that sorry is on the move and all of that. I say, I understand that, no problem. Anytime you are ready, let me just know. After about maybe 6 weeks or thereabouts, I saw this long email from him. I said, hey, my report card has come.
Oh, wow.
Hey, God of glory. And then I opened this email and it said, this is a great work. He's so proud of me. He's this, is that.
Wow.
You know,
Wow.
you know that. Oh, when because it's something I didn't read from somewhere. So sometimes
Yes.
you have that thing that I'm doubting myself. Like sometimes you
Yes.
doubt yourself because like I went to one school or I did research and I have something to back it up, of which, as we
Where
usually say that wherever your energy flows where attention goes.
attention
So
goes.
as we were
Yes.
proceeding in that journey, I found things that fit into those things that I had written. So in a way, it felt like it
Hmm.
was right. And I'd seen even in my own life, at different points and phases of my life, that I've gone through these same phases.
Yes.
And then
Wow.
yes, that I've seen it. So when he got back to me, he only tweaked maybe out of about how many questions? I think the questionnaire had about 50 questions for the assessment. I think he
Hmm.
only had tweaks on maybe six of the questions, and he said
Hmm.
every other one was okay.
This is amazing.
Are you kidding
This
me?
is amazing.
Did you understand? So,
Wow.
and before I even put out the assessment and all of that, I sent it out to people for free. I said, just do. I sent to all my siblings, all my friends. They were all in trouble throughout that period. They were
Yes.
just talking. And they were saying, oh, that I gave, first of all, the design. You won't believe I even did the design and everything myself during the exam.
Hmm.
That one is sorry for another day. So they're like,
Sorry.
yeah, I actually
For
gave it.
for for those that are not aware, let me clarify VCAP because you've been hearing VCAP, VCAP,
I'm
VCAP.
sorry, you cannot but hear it. You
Visionary
cannot but hear it. Oh.
VCAP is Visionary Compass Accelerator Program by our mentor and coach Debola Dejikuromi, who is actually one of the speakers for Scribe Secrets
Right.
2.0.
Yeah.
And
And that
this
was where we
program,
met.
yes, that's where we met. And this program is life changing. It is what is actually birthing all of this. And most of the things that like she's sharing has been like, I can't even begin to explain. Wherever you
Explain. It's a
after this
lot.
time,
This one is just one
this
part.
time,
Sef.
I'm telling you, just go and check it out on your own later. But for
Mhm.
now, let's focus on this one.
Yes.
Wow. Wow.
So yeah, so that for me
Hmm.
was a huge, it's not like you're seeking for validation, external validation, but
Hmm.
there's a different validation you get, and the different surety you get when you get a pat on your back
Like
from
a well,
a
yes.
respected voice.
Yes, yes,
It's Dr.
yes,
Sam. Oh.
yes,
Dr. Sam Ekudayo. Oh.
yes,
As in, he has a whole university for purpose. Do you understand?
yes, I
For
get it.
somebody
I
to have
totally do.
do you understand? So that for me was one of the reasons I said, okay. And then
Okay,
those people
so
also
you
let
can
me know
write a
that,
book.
yes, that I was going to write a book on it. But then those people were still telling me that what I have was not yet complete. What they still needed me to have was
Hmm.
not complete, yes. Now, during that period, I did a certification on purpose coaching and got certified as a purpose coach during that
Okay.
period as well. And then I got some more insight and more materials about, okay, clarity and just giving that shape and framework. So I'm like, yes, this is a good introduction for anyone
Hmm.
who is not even a leader, who is just an individual, who is just trying to find paths to clarity, who is just
Hmm.
trying to, and I needed to put it in a place where somebody who is layman just gets gets into it and is able to understand what it means to have
Understand it.
clarity of purpose and know where to start
Mm,
from, what questions
mm.
you need to start to ask, how you need to sit with reflections and all that. And all of those things are in this book. In this book.
Wow.
Yes, they are all there.
Wow.
Now,
This is amazing.
finally, by the
Yes.
time I was having the Purpose Bootcamp 2.0 in
Okay.
2024,
Okay.
another framework had dropped, and that was the Purpose Integration Framework. Now,
What?
this one was now meant for those that are leaders and are established. And I'm telling you, I was on this same seat in this same corner. I was on leave that day. Yes. And I was not even with notes. I was with this my phone that I'm using to this thing. And I was typing on my iPad and I
Yes.
notes and
Yes.
this one. In fact, let me tell you, let me bust your bubble. I had done flyer for Purpose Bootcamp 2.0.
Okay.
I had
Wow.
contacted the people because God had highlighted some people to me that they were going to come. But I was like, hey, God, are they coming to teach the same thing that we have taught? And the only people just said I should hold on and all. So I kept
Yeah.
pressing it. I was on this seat. It was one beautiful afternoon like that. I can't forget because I was resting on this wall and I was just like, hey, I need to send topic to those that will do. How will I do it? And then God just gave me another 5-part framework. And the way they fit well into the Wheel of Purpose framework was amazing. And that was
Hmm.
after the second framework, the Purpose Integration framework,
Integration framework.
was also
Hmm.
updated. One of my one of my speakers, my guest coaches for that Purpose Bootcamp
Bootcamp
2.0,
2.0. Yes.
said that this is so rare because she's a top executive in one of the international energy organizations based in the US,
Okay.
and they operate all over the world as well. And she's a top executive, so she knows what she's saying. You understand? She said that as much as she knows that this is correct, that she has never seen it puzzled out
Together.
into
Peace.
themselves this
Yes.
way. And it is so correct. She even asked me that can I send a picture of it. So in fact, let me tell you how much God taught me about that integration. God taught me that when I want to design my slides for the introduction of it, I should get a template of puzzles. You know, when
Hmm.
puzzles are together and how they
Hmm.
integrate into each other, and if one part is missing, how others can be
Oh, that's what. Oh,
disintegrated.
wow. You know, like I
And guess
love
what? I think
this.
it's not. I think even the diagram is in this book. I had to put the diagram in this book. So you see, this book, it's so loaded. Um, I don't know how. I will say I don't know, but there's a way I know.
I
I'm
love
trying to
what you're
find
saying.
if I can find it, and I think it's on
I actually love what I'm hearing about frameworks because I wanted to even ask you a little bit about frameworks in
mm.
terms of, and I think you have just gradually walked us through how you developed your own frameworks. And if there's anything more you can add to that, because I think frameworks are very important for nonfiction writing
I don't know if
or,
you can see it.
yes,
Can
I
you see
can
the
see
puzzle?
it.
So there are five
Yes,
of them, and then there's the
yes.
middle one. There's the
Self,
the the skill, the self, the skill, the service, the social, then the spirituality
spirituality in the middle.
in
My
the middle,
goodness.
which holds everything
Thing
together.
together. Oh wow.
So yeah, and guess
Wow.
what? Each of those frameworks have like worksheets in them, so you have spaces where you can jot and write and reflect when you're
Mm,
done, so that you don't just read and forget about it. You actually
mm,
see it, you will see the
you
question and start to see how you can find a golden thread and how they can be
mm.
integrated together. And all of that is all in the book and much more.
Ah, this is your cue that this book is an asset.
It
And
is.
if you have young, I feel like it's not even just for because I know that maybe it's written or targeted towards moving or some like leading women or but then anyone that is
Anyone can, it
in
works
that
for
place,
everyone. You will find your own. Yeah, that's the thing.
yes,
Whatever
anyone
level
that
you are, whatever
yes,
level you are,
anywhere
you
you
will
are
find it.
when it comes to figuring out purpose and understanding purpose, I think this book will really help you. It will, because I mean, look at the for the fact that It was not just Googled up. It is something that was downloaded. And that is why I am big on us as we have such an advantage as
Mm-hmm.
believers
As
to be able
believers.
to sit with the maker of the universe, and he can be able I mean, this is one of the biggest revelations I'm having in this season about God, that he
Mm-hmm.
is the extraordinary strategist.
Mm-hmm.
He will show you, as long as you are able to sit and you can flesh that thing out, you are able to flesh that thing that he's releasing to you. I
Mm-hmm.
love it. Stephanie Williams is saying that she also developed a framework in her recent book. Thank you. God is birthing a movement through his vessels. I know. In for every sphere of influence, for every problem, for every kind of thing that God wants to do, he's raising people. I know that we are still at the beginning stages, but give us a few years. Give
I know.
us a
I
few years.
know. And I didn't even
Some
tell
people,
you. I didn't even
ah,
tell you. Dr. Sam wrote the foreword for this book, by the way.
can you believe that? If it was not a good book, would he have written the forward?
And
Thank you.
he read it before he even did the forward. He was one of the first people that read the whole book, and then he wrote
Amazing.
the forward for the book. So yeah.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. This is such wonderful. I wanted to mention something
Yeah.
that I wanted to touch on something that you actually, that this thing the thought started off as a journal.
Yes.
It started off as a journal. So I just
Mm-hmm.
wanted to highlight for some of us here that many times where you are going is like God is going somewhere. It's not always like that first idea. There's an evolution that is waiting on you, but it's because she has already started taking steps. The boot camp, this one was going on, that one, those are steps in obedience, and there is clarity that comes as you execute. I
Yeah.
also teach about like different levels of clarity. There
Mm-hmm.
is pre-execution. That's the
Mm-hmm.
clarity that you're thinking, okay, I'm going to write a journal. Same exact thing happened with me. I started blogging and I was thinking, okay, I'm going to write about motherhood. But then as I now started on that journey, it became, look at the degree. There is a framework for purpose, and then there is now a framework for integrating purpose. Can you believe if she did not say yes to the journey, would she have come into all of this degree of light, wisdom, and exposure? This is your cue. Make
Mm-hmm.
sure that you're doing what God wants you to do per time, per season. I love, love, love this conversation. And I want to
Thank you.
actually touch on, because you are doing so many things, like there are different parts, multi-potentialite in that sense. How are
Mm.
you able to balance? Like, to some extent, can you shed light a little bit on just how you're able to balance this work, your visionary work, motherhood, coaching? Like, I see all the work, content, you're even putting out a lot of content. I'm just like, how are you able to do this, ma?
Hey.
Can you please tell us?
All right. My simple answer is creating a reading that
Hmm.
works for you.
Okay.
And many times you need help with that. And that's one of
Okay.
the things that I'll be launching soon
Oh,
to
wow.
help people who have this. I get this is one of the highest questions I get. How do you balance everything? So I'm going
Hmm.
to be able to break it down and show you how I'm able to. And you won't believe it. With the way I'm able to, I still have a whole one free day that I don't do anything extra now.
I
In the
love
midst of
it.
everything. Yes, in the midst of, and I do 9 to 5, by the way.
Wow.
Yes, I do 9 to 5. I do 9 to 5.
That's
But
amazing.
there is a reading that works for you. Not
Yes.
it doesn't have to work for me. My method
Hmm.
will not work for you. But there are
Yes.
principles that we
Principles
have to follow. One of the things, like the answer is creating the reading that works for you.
that
So
works for
we
you.
start to break down what your season looks like. We start to break down what your core is, And
Hmm.
then what are your priorities? We start to
Hmm.
break down the level of priorities in your life in the different phases that you are. What phase
Okay.
of the wheel of purpose are you in? We have to discover
Right.
that so that we can zoom in into that phase and then take you up on that place. That one will help you to reset every other thing based on that. So it is really you looking at your life and
Hmm.
saying, okay, in this season of my life, first of all, you need to recognize the season that you are in. I remember
Right.
there was it around April, May this year. I didn't produce anything.
Hmm.
I didn't
Hmm.
produce anything. When I mean produce, I wasn't really
Like,
putting out any content.
right.
My content was very minimized. My VA was
Right.
just doing carousels because I wasn't really, I wasn't doing much coaching, and I had
Hmm.
coaching requests.
Wow.
Yes, and I needed money, but I knew that there were things I needed to put in place. There were things
Right.
I needed to put in perspectives. And
Right.
I wasn't running away from my life. There were
Hmm.
things I needed. There were things I needed to do that I needed to focus on, which I did. At that point as well, I focused on a significant part of my ministry as well. That the
Hmm.
ministry I lead, I wasn't putting out because I understood that that time was for that. Now
Hmm.
there are two things that I'm focusing on in this season, and you will see two announcements. So one of it is coming out like next week, and the second
Okay.
one will be out. You will see the announcements. And that one, it's not so many of the you need to recognize your season. When
Hmm.
you first of all know your season, and then you know what level or phase you are in that season, and then you start to rearrange the
Your
thing. But
life.
nothing is
Right.
leaving your life. Everything is
Yes.
important. My husband is important. My children are important. My work
Yes.
with God, in fact, that one is not negotiable. Your the things you're
Non-negotiable.
producing. So if I'm going to balance it, because it's not really what we call balance might not really be balance.
Yes. It's the
Something with
rhythm.
something, yeah, it's a rhythm because something has to something you
Give.
have to demodulate one to modulate one to
Hmm.
create the results and the impact that you really want to do. So and
Hmm.
that you are not breaking,
Hmm. Yes.
breaking, hurting your health in the
Yes.
midst of everything. You must
Yes.
learn to say no. That in the program we're going to have boundary sheets. You're going to learn boundary words. You're going to learn to say no or yes to the right things, not because you can do it or you can't do it, not because your calendar is free or not, but because it doesn't match the rhythm of that season.
Season. Wow.
Do you
Wow.
understand?
I get it.
So it's for example, it's not it's not every call. It's not every call. That's what I'm saying. Can you this? I can, but will I? Not necessarily. So somebody say, "Are you free on Saturday?" I'm not free. What are you doing? I'm resting.
I love it. I love it
I'm
because
sleeping.
rest is part of
Yes,
purpose.
I was
Huh?
supposed to go for what body massage today, but the person cancelled her because her daughter fell ill, so she couldn't make
Ah,
it. That's what. Do you understand? So
I get it. I
next
get
week
it.
Saturday, now I'm going to go and do my nails and
Hmm.
everything, and it's not hurting anything. You will still see
Yes.
my content. Yeah, I will still show up for prayer meeting. I will still show up. You understand? But that
I
time.
understand.
Do you understand? And then on Sunday as well, you just know you have to recognize what is
Hmm.
important that season and what you need to focus on. And it takes a lot. Many of us
Yes.
don't know how to recognize those things ourselves, and that is why
Yes.
I am here for you.
Amazing. That means you guys run and follow Pelumi
Mhm.
Adeuyi on Instagram for all the announcements that she's going to be making
And you
so that
can
you
watch the
can,
videos that I've put out.
yes,
They will help you as
exactly.
well. And if you start
Exactly.
from there.
Yes, exactly. I love, love, love this. And we're going to be rounding this off with one of the questions that I feel like I need to hear from you, especially for people that are starting on the journey, and not just people that are starting on the journey of authorship, but also people that are on it or they're writing their second or third book. What has been your biggest lesson so far, especially when it comes to your book writing, your book journey, publishing journey? What do you think that first time authors need to know or to think about at least
Don't wait
in
for
their
the
journey?
perfect time. There's no perfect time.
Thank
You
you,
will
ma.
only be delaying the message you're supposed to push out that God has given to you.
Hmm.
My first book was I call it Daily Nuggets. I finished it in 2 weeks.
Hmm.
But guess what? I didn't know I was going to. I had the materials for them in posts that I had done since 2017.
Wow.
And God just said, oh, yeah, go back, go and bring out everything and put them into a book.
Hmm.
2017. It just came out 2022.
Hmm.
It took too long.
It took too long. I love it.
So by the
It took
time
too
I was
long.
now going to do it, it was like pa, 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 get it out.
Yes.
And yeah, so don't wait. And then another thing you need to know is not chapter one that will come first in your book.
It's not sequential
It's
in
not
that sense.
sequential. The will of purpose was the first thing I got in this book, but it's chapter
Hmm.
4.
Hmm. Hmm. I see.
It is
So
chapter
true.
4. So
So true.
sometimes God drops, let me tell you, it is the time when you can undo some part of your book that God will reveal it to you.
Right. Right.
And it doesn't mean that it's going to be the first part of your book. And if you are lucky and blessed, yeah, start it chapter 1. If I start from forward and
Right.
introduction and all of that. Many times I write the introduction to my book after I'm done.
Many times, actually. For many times, that's how it happens. Many times.
Yeah, that's it. So don't
Amazing.
wait for the perfect time and know that it doesn't have to start with chapter 1. You can start with the
Right.
last chapter.
Right.
You can start with the last chapter. Just keep doing it.
Amazing.
When you have you will know actually when your book is complete. You will know.
Hmm. You would know. I love
You will
that.
know.
You would know when when the book, because sometimes you may be thinking, okay, I need to write 250,000 words because
No,
that's what
you are already overthinking it.
you would know. Some books are supposed to be big, some books are not supposed to be small, are not supposed to be that big. One of the most impactful books that I have ever read is one small book I read during NYSC, Sit, Walk, Stand by Watchman Nee. Ah, my God, my
It
God.
looks like a Psalm 1 verse 1 kind of thing.
Very small book, but it was just what I needed at the time in my walk with the Lord. I did not even need too much conversation. Just it was the word that pierces, transforms. So you would know such an important point. You would know when your book is done.
Yeah.
Ah, thank you so much, Coach Pelumi. This has
Thank
been
you.
an amazing conversation. Thank you for
Thank
giving us your
you.
time.
Thank you
Thank you
for
for
having
giving
me.
us, yes, thank you so much. Thank you everyone for joining in. I don't know if you have any last words or we can just round it off here. Any last words for you? Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. Let us know what stood out to you. I've been seeing your comments, recognize your season, capacity, all of that. I love it. Feel free to share this session and tag us. You can tag Pelumi, tag me on Instagram as you're sharing what stood out to you. I thank you so much for being here. God bless you, ma'am. I will
Thank
be seeing
you.
you. Okay, take
All
care. I'm going
right,
to,
bye. You can get the book on Seller and Amazon. If you're
yes,
Nigeria,
please.
Seller. The links are on my Instagram bio
Instagram bio.
everywhere. Yes.
Exactly. Thank you so much for pointing that out. If you are following her, like I just mentioned, see her Instagram handle is scrolling on the screen. You will find the links to this powerful book that will help you understand purpose or even get better along the lines of your purpose in this season. Thank you so much, Coach Pelumi. God
Thank
bless
you. God
you.
bless you. Thank you so much. You're doing an amazing work, and we're looking forward to the Scribe conference. Is this
Yes, yes.
Scribe boot
Scribe
camp, whatever
Secret.
it is?
Yes. Yes.
We're
Yes, thank
coming.
you. Yes, we're
All
coming.
right.
Awesome. Awesome.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so you guys, you have heard it here. Make sure that you are subscribed to this channel if you have not subscribed. And then please register for Scribe Secrets if you haven't. It is coming up in exactly 2 weeks or thereabout. This amazing conversations we're having is just the pre-event conversations, the one that is helping us to get warmed up to the amazing encounters that is ahead of us as we step into Scribe Secrets 2.0. I encourage you to share with your friends, share with you people that you know that are aspiring at some point in their lives to write books, because this is not, God is doing something amazing. Like someone mentioned earlier, this is a movement. This is, God is raising sons, daughters across the globe, people that will carry his messages, his word into different spaces, into different industries, into even existing ideas. The conversation about purpose is not today, but look at how this amazing woman has been able to receive specific blueprints and frameworks that will help the next generation, that will help people right now to step into purpose, to understand purpose and flow from that place. That's the same thing that God wants for you, depending on what he's asking you to write or to document or to journal or to see in this season. And by the grace of God, as you receive that message, it's not for two people. He says, a city set upon a hill. We are the light of the world. That thing, I know that it's a very noble thing for us to be thinking about, okay, even if it is one person that this thing blesses, I love it, and I bless God for the capacity to bless one person. But God, the magnanimity, the hugeness, the glory of our God is not only for one person. It is for, there are people, there are groups of people in tens, in hundreds, in thousands. And how are we going to be able to take that message and make it into something that 1,000, 100, 10 people can hear and see and grab and understand and make it into a movement? That's what Scribe Secrets 2.0 is about. And I encourage you to register and share with everybody. Like I said, we're 500 people in. Tell me this is not a movement. Where in the world? Like, I did not see it coming. I did not, but I thank the Lord and I give him all the glory, because he's the one that started this and he will bring it to completion. God bless you. Thank you so much for being here. Tomorrow we are having, my God, let me give you the prelude. Tomorrow's conversation is so deep, is so strong. I don't want you to miss it at all. Tomorrow's conversation has been cancelled before because the enemy has been fighting this woman and the things that we're about to discuss. But I'm excited because it is happening live here. We are sitting with Taiwo Omole tomorrow night, same time by 8 p.m. And she's going to be talking about her book, which is about Babylon and Hollywood, unmasking Hollywood, and the message that God has handed to her in terms of that industry, how she has been able to capture it in a book. It is such a deep, phenomenal, my goodness. I don't want to spend too much time, but I just want you to know that we are having a mind-blowing conversation tomorrow. And I encourage you to be here on this channel. Subscribe if you haven't. And thank you again for this wonderful time. God bless you as you leave, as you get to bed tonight, wherever you are. And I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow. Take care.